Okay, so here we have to solve this inequality. We have x over 4 minus a half is less than or equal to x over 2 plus 1. And there are a couple different ways we can solve this. I'm going to show you two different ways. One way is just to clear all the denominators first, because that's going to, working with denominators is kind of a little awkward. Sometimes it can be a little difficult. So if we just multiply both sides by the same number to clear all the denominators, we can do that as a nice first step. So here, if you see I have a 4, I have 2, and a 2 in the denominator. So if I multiply by their lowest common multiple, which is 4, that will clear all of them. So if I multiply both sides of the equation by 4, in other words, multiply each term by 4. So x over 4 times 4 is just x. Negative a half times 4 is 2. X over 2 times 4, right? The 2's will cancel. And then another 2 will be 2x. And 1 times 4, of course, is 4. And so now I have just a linear inequality, and I want to isolate x, right? So I'm going to move x to the right, so subtract x from both sides to cancel out that 1 on the left. And what am I going to end up with? Right? The x minus x cancels out. I still have a negative 2 here. Here on the right, I have 2x minus x. That becomes 1x, or just x. And the 4 stays the same. And now, again, I want to isolate x, right? And so I have a plus 4 here, and so I'm going to do the opposite operation, subtract 4. So subtract 4 from both sides. That's going to cancel out the 4 on the right. And on the left, I'll have negative 2 minus 4, which is negative 6. And now you can see I've isolated x, so this is our final answer. Negative 6 is less than or equal to x. Or you can rewrite that as x greater than or equal to negative 6, meaning if x has any value that is greater than or equal to, so say negative 5, even negative 6 it includes, right, equal to as well. It could be 0, it could be 2. Then this inequality, right, then the left side here will be less than or equal to the right side. This inequality will be true. And so on a number line, you can represent this like this, right? We have negatives, right, here's 0, negative 5, negative 6 is over here. Any point, including negative 6, so we color in the dot, any point to the right of that, right, any point in the positive direction, any from here, from negative 6 all the way to infinity, right? Any number greater than or equal to negative 6 will work to solve the inequality. Now, another different way, slightly different way, is working with fractions. Right, I copied the original inequality here. Is instead of clearing fractions, we can just isolate x. So here I'm going to subtract x over 4 from both sides, right? I want to move the x terms to the same side. Subtract x over 4. And right on the left here, I canceled it out. So I just have negative a half. On the right, x over 2 minus x over 4, right? That's like combining like terms, right? We have a half times x minus a quarter times x. And a half minus a quarter is a quarter, right? So we have x over 4 remaining, and we still have that plus 1. Now, again, I want to isolate x. So I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides to get rid of that 1. On the right, again, it cancels. And over here, we have negative a half minus 1. Which is negative 3 over 2, or negative 1.5. And again, we want to isolate x, and you can see x is being divided by 4. So we're going to multiply both sides by 4. And so on the right, we have 4 times negative 3 over 2. That's 4 times negative 3, that's 12. Divided by 2 is negative 6. And so there you go. You can see we get the same answer. Negative 6 is less than or equal to x, or in other words, x is greater than or equal to negative 6.